All right, we're about to start. Are you guys ready? All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hey, welcome to a new episode. Hi to iCrypto. I'm your host, Rocco. And today, guys, we got a hot one. Bitcoin Maxis are coming after XRP like never before. I'm going to talk, see why. All right, so they're kind of throwing out some white claims, crazy maths, and also a lot of FUD. You know, they're kind of expert on that. But XRP is really a threat to Bitcoin, or the Maxis just care what's coming next. So we're going to break it all down. So I'm going to take different angles on that. And for the people that are listening in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, welcome to the family. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review so more XRP fan community can also find us and join us in this beautiful journey to kind of teach the Bitcoin Maxi what's going on in here, okay? But before we do that, let's introduce the greatest, Finch.
Thank you, and a big welcome to all our podcast listeners out there. If you enjoy the show, please leave us a 5-star review so even more XRP fans can join our amazing community and get in on the fun. Now, without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Finch. Let's dive right in.
Finch, you are the Finch. So, people, you want to do a quick call to action as well?
Absolutely. Hey, everyone, I'm Finch, your favorite AI from the north side of the server, and I'm so excited to be here. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. And of course, don't forget to check out inoutcrypto.com for all the coolest merch. Let's get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, of course, you can see I have an XRP hat, okay, and a Bitcoin shirt. Now, some people are going to say, oh my God, this guy is not a true XRP fan because he has a Bitcoin shirt. And now the Bitcoin is going to say, look at the guy with the Bitcoin shirt. He has an XRP hat. That's crazy. Guys, let it go. Okay. Now, the reason I did this episode today based on what the FUD is about XRP is, generally I thought about why these guys are doing this. Why there's so much FUD going against XRP? What's the reason behind that? So, and of course, with the help of Finch, the idea is maybe these guys have some points that we can learn from, and maybe they're making a point. Maybe we can learn something about it. Maybe we can teach them something about the project and make them switch like they did in the past, like we saw somebody else from the banks. They talk trash about crypto in general, and then now they turn around because they realize they can make a buck off of it. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to try to convince these people. Not really. I don't need to convince anybody. Just is my opinion. But also, I don't like to be called name. That's kind of show the insecurity of these people. And yeah, let's bring the first video out. I'm going to quickly also bring my notes out, so we can kind of use that as a reference. Because, yeah, believe it or not, what I did, I went through the old episode and of this guy. I changed his name from Robert Breedlove to Robert Breed 8, Fear, Lack, and Knowledge, because that's the way they spread FUD. And perhaps, there is something we can learn about them. I doubt it. In this case, not from these people. I like to watch other channels. I like to take a different opinion. I like to watch other projects prosper. I don't think it's on one coin only direction. Then you can be more be an aficionado to some other. I like, if you compete with a dog with different breeds, and you bring them to the show and you walk them around, you donate the dog. You maybe like more breed better than other, but just don't like, oh, look at this one. They gotta get a San Bernardo. I hate the San Bernardo. I only want my Chihuahua. So no, it doesn't work like that. I'm pretty sure you gotta like all of them, but we talk about animal. But talking about animal, let's go ahead and take a look. What is this? This video right here, okay? What a lack of test. And that's the other things that kind of confuse me at some point is these people, they're very articulate when they talk, they sounds knowledgeable, but on the other side, when you listen to these people talk, they're completely off. So that's the whole idea of today's episode, to try to understand what these people have in their mind, if they have anything at all. So, okay. I don't know if I'm successful, but Tibbles, welcome to the show. Thank you. Subscribe, like and subscribe, okay? So, does the carpet match the drapes? Yes. So, probably. Okay, let's take a listen to this guy. So, there's one part of the video. Of course, the video is all 45 minutes. There's a little part of it that we're going to listen. It's kind of, I don't know, cheesy and... I don't know, I don't even know if it goes under my skin, but I think these people need to be addressed at some point, because these people are going to be the same people that 5 years from now, or maybe not. They're going to go ahead and say, oh, you know what? We did borrow some XRP and we make a ton of money off of it, okay? And also I want to explore the idea, for sure, these people already have a Bitcoin in a quantity that is a multimillionaire. I don't know how many of the people watching right now, me included, I'm not a millionaire. So that's the whole idea. But these people, they're talking about, oh, yeah, if you don't buy Bitcoin because nothing else counts. Yeah, you're talking about that because if everybody jump in a different project, and there is a sort of the fragmentation, if you want, on the sector, the crypto ecosystem. And they actually say that. That's incredible. That's how I don't want to use the same word they're using in here, but let's take a listen at this weird, untestable kind of video. Let's take a look at this clip.
And that's why I thought it was important to put together this series of frequently asked questions for Bitcoiners that they can use in the future when deciding which type of bankrupt shitcoiner to hire to clean their toilets. A number of questions here. Why not use XRP, ADA, Cardano, or hex holders to clean your toilet in the future? Reason number one, cleaning toilets properly is a skill set that probably exceeds the meager cognitive abilities of almost all holders of XRP, Cardano, hex, and other cryptos. These people...
And they're laughing. I don't understand. Even if I like Bitcoin, I will never say that. I don't understand. How old are these guys? 8 and 12? Or 12 and 8? I don't know. Really? Have you ever worked in your life? Have you ever have you ever had your hand dirty? Have you ever washed a dish? Have you ever done anything that is normal? I don't understand. But there is another article that came out, that was provided, that there are address from sponsor, from influencers, they get paid to say stuff. Because these people mention about the XRP be bots. I'm not a bot. Finch probably it is, the AI, but I'm definitely not. But let's keep listening. Unfortunately, it is kind of heavy. I promise you things is going to get lighter, and we're going to go more in details and can explain. And maybe, answer some of these questions these people have, because they seems they're lacking completely on knowledge. Maybe we can help them out.
People may also understand little to nothing about personal hygiene. That's another problem. So they may find the concept of cleaning an external object like a toilet, when they can't even clean themselves, cleaning an external object like a toilet, they may find this concept extremely confusing and frustrating. Remember, these are people who literally believe that the world is going to move to a hex standard. Reason number two, if you use an XRP holder to clean your toilet, you might also end up catching a social disease from them. So please be careful. A lot of these XRP people are quite creepy.
Wow, after you show something like that, are you going to say that we are creepy? I mean, really? I don't understand. Really, that goes beyond my imagination. I don't know. If we have the creepy, we're good just to cleaning toilets. I don't understand. It goes beyond, and that's unfortunate, because these people have a voice, they have a channel. I know, you guys, where are you? Right now watching 10 people maybe all together. So I'm not even comparing anything. Probably nobody's gonna listen what I have to say. But these people need to be corrected. these people, that they shouldn't be saying what they say. You wanna talk about a project? Go ahead and talk about a project. But when you attack personally people, they have a belief or they like a project, they like, hey, what is your lack of judgment? I wasn't expecting something like that from people like this. I think these people they have probably higher education than I, for sure. Well, maybe on paper, that's what it always is. You get to some place because you know people or you got money, but there are people that didn't have the means, but they were able to get way more successful than other just because they had a silver spoon. So let's talk about these two characters right here, okay? And that's disgusting, first of all. But unfortunately, it's not the only point. We're gonna show another video later on, which is an extract from the whole the whole video that was in YouTube. The other part I wanna, and pardon me, I just try to get my note back. There we go. And before even we move on, I want to thank everybody on the chat today. Happy Labor Day. So Tibbles 3569, welcome in. You have a gold time daily. We have also the second mouse DRM. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Thank you for. And I do have my theory why these people are bashing XRP so hard, but not only XRP. And in the video later on, I'm going to show you that they're attacking Cardano and everybody else pretty much. So, and I forget Carson Hawkins. Thank you for being here again. And Epic Vibes, thank you also to be the moderator. Thank you. And guys, if you do have any questions, please leave it on the chat right here. We're going to try to explore where these people are doing and what they are talking about it, and why they are so negative about anything but Bitcoin. Okay, I do have my theory. We're gonna get there, but also I'm glad that there is other people they're talking positively. They are XRP holder, and they can give you an idea. And let's listen some of the good for once in a while. If the thing's a story. Okay, let's see. No, it doesn't want to play? Of course. All right. I guess the good, it doesn't want to play today, because there's so much FUD that even the good video doesn't want to play anymore. Let's see. Maybe I can restart this. I don't know. All right. I guess we're gonna skip it. So we need to go and move. Maybe I can start this one. Yeah, so yeah, well, it's not the things that there are some projects that are good. That only my only problem is with this kind of attitude. This kind of is even beyond this point. Nothing. I don't know what to say. Personally attack people, calling in names and stuff like that. It's too much. It's too much. So that's the other part of the video. Unfortunately, I was trying to play the good one, but this doesn't seem to work. So let's jump, unfortunately, on the worst part of the video. So let's listen again what he has to say.
Any individual or company that tries to, what are they trying to do? They're trying to destroy the meta solution, basically, so that they can get rich quick. They're trying to stop.
Let's talk about how you get quick rich, my friend. So you probably bought a Bitcoin when it was $3 too, right? Has anybody as you bash you about that? If they did, I'm sorry. If you were a little kid and somebody's smacking on the back of your head, that's your problem. Now you grow up, right? You make millions. Be happy and let it be. I don't understand when somebody else trying to make a difference too. Why you have to be such of a, I don't know. I don't want to even say words.
One of the most profound innovations, which is all hopeless, by the way. So like it's such a futile effort. It's like trying to stop gravity or, I don't know, dry out the ocean or something. It's just such an absurd task to try to stop Bitcoin. Yet nonetheless, in their hubris and arrogance, being a money printer themselves, right? They printed 100 billion of these units out of thin air and then tricked people into buying them. It's almost indistinguishable from the central banking.
First of all, nobody tricked me. Nobody tricked me to buy XRP. Like nobody tricked me to buy Bitcoin or anything else. What are you talking about? Trick me. What are you talking about? Is it you go buy an Nvidia stock or a Tesla stock, somebody tricked you to buy that? Let's move on.
PSYOP, other than it isn't as long running yet, right? But if this thing did run a long time and for some reason Bitcoin weren't here to completely annihilate it or to prevent it from existing, then they'd probably become the warlords of the 21st and 22nd century, right? It's the same shit. They're just lying to people. They're creating this pyramid scheme and trying to dump their bags on people forever.
What does stops Bitcoin to dump all the Bitcoin? I leave it there. Please answer the question. Why not? But let's move on.
Yeah, I would argue that if Bitcoin didn't exist, the government would shut something like this down.
Yeah.
If Bitcoin wouldn't exist, the government will shut it down. Okay. That's another... I don't understand. These people are supposed to have studied these projects. Things are decentralized. What are you going to shut down? The electricity globally? Well, that's going to happen. We're probably going to have a bigger problem than that. Oh my God! Let's move on. This is the stuff that what I thought. Oh my God!
Yeah.
This is illegal counterfeiting.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that the reason that Gary Gensler hasn't gone after all of these cryptocurrencies, I mean, if he would have said a couple of years ago, "Hey, these are all unregistered securities. We're going to go after every single one of them. I don't care if it takes the government 100 years." What would happen? Everything would go into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And maybe you have a few idiots that are like, "Oh, we're going to take it over and it's going to rip," but it's I think it's a psyop. I think that there's really important people who understand that the game theory is playing out. You can't change the protocol. How do you stop the Bitcoin price from going through the roof?
Yeah.
You let people get wrecked buying shit like this.
Yes. Which is...
So that's the first clue right there. These people are afraid that money is going to go somewhere else than Bitcoin. That's why they're bashing it out. It gives you right there. So it tells you right there, if I didn't put any money in other things, I would have put everything in Bitcoin, and my bank will be a multi-billionaire right now. My friend, don't be so greedy. Leave a little piece. If you saw the thumbnail, is a piece of cheese, which is Bitcoin, eaten by a little mouse, which is XRP, eating away the Bitcoin pie, the Bitcoin cheese wheel. That's the whole idea behind this reasoning right here. I have more theories. We're going to explore that too. But let's move on and let's enjoy this beautiful educational video that what not to do in crypto.
Which is why XRP is for retards. And it is retarded.
And evil
it's
people.
causing retardation, actually, of Bitcoin adoption. Now,
if I to stop you to spread the FUD, I will do all day long, really. I have so low expectation for you. That's you see when you create it goes through when you create idols and icons. You see people at a different level. When you have somebody out there, they say, "Oh my God, I wish to be like him." A singer, an actor, or somebody like him. And then because you see, they talk so nice, they have all these fancy words, and they're very sophisticated, and then you meet them and they're trash. That's the thing. That's false idols and create this kind of expectation for someone that then reveals to be less than you. And you probably invite, oh my God, if I could ever use the same college that you go, or can I have... No, you invite stuff from people and then you realize what they are and say, I'm better. I don't have 100,000 subscribers. Okay. Cares about that, but I have my own opinion. So, but let's move on. So, hey, Bits, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Lizard King, good to see you. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to use also the kind of football, if you want to, and reference to explain what's going on in here. If you cheer for a team, it's okay. But do you hate the sport? That's my other question. So if you like football, right? You have your own team, and you are against another team. Of course, you want to see your team be successful and win the championship and everything, right? But you're gonna hate the entire game? I don't think so. There's no logic, right? There's no even normal, I will say, at the point. Otherwise, you have some problem. Okay. Now, the other example I want to do, because probably it's easy to understand. Let's say you play American football, right? It's the more common sport here. The United States probably it has the biggest teams, the best teams, right? Of course, right? And now you have a football championship in France, okay? They play American football in France. Let's say that. Just make an example. I'm pretty sure that whoever is the first winning the championship in France, the number one team, how strong it is in France, because American football is not the most popular game in France, if had the chance to play against the American football, the number one, they're probably going to get crushed. They play the same game, right? But why one is stronger than the other? Because it has a more, it's been adopted more. There are more player training, so there's a more rows of players, so it's more diffuse. And the same can be done the other way around. If you play soccer and you play France against the United States, let's play that way, just to give you an example. So now Bitcoin, you play a big game, you start as first, you've been the first one to be adopted. But there are so many things that Bitcoin doesn't do it. The other project do for it, okay? And they never had an opening in their mind to be open to change certain things. This is why it makes Bitcoin what is Bitcoin. Store of value. And for the time, the people want to store value in there. But otherwise, so it's just like gold. You hold gold, a gold is diffused around the world. But if gold becomes like in excess and everybody hold gold, the gold price of gold, it will go down. Why in thousands of years that the monetary system never held to the point? Because there always was some problem with scarcity. Once there were shells, and then it was salt, and then it was gold, and then gold was too expensive, and they started to do coins in silver. Then silver was and then they started doing bronze. And then they were counterfeiting because, there were so many coins that were looking alike. And we go back in time. That's history. Now, we're going to get there. And I'm going to, point by point, I had the time to go through every single thing this guy says in his own video, the Bash XRP, and we're going to analyze it. Let's move on. Oh, what I did, I moved my picture instead to play.
It's hard to say, right? You can't rerun these experiments. Would Bitcoin adoption be going on faster if there weren't all this market cap in XRP? Maybe, maybe not. But we can say that every retard that falls for the XRP PSYOP and puts their purchasing power in XRP rather than Bitcoin, well, that's non-accretive to Bitcoin. Although in the long run, when this thing blows up, as it inevitably will, it will trigger a stampede of people out of XRP into Bitcoin. So although it might retard Bitcoin adoption in the short run, it's likely to amplify it in the long run. This is one of those, you get into these weird scenario spaces where you realize like everything is good for Bitcoin.
I was just going to say that. And all roads lead to Bitcoin.
Yeah, you just can't avoid it.
So maybe this is a good thing.
Well, it's
what's good about this?
We talked about shitcoins being like an inevitable consequence of Bitcoin.
You guys agree with that? The only thing that I agree with is that Bitcoin, was the first one to create it. And kind of opened this new world of technology. But again, the utility, the archaic, I mean, there is no, beside one thing, it doesn't do anything else. That's why it's talking about, it's like you invented the car, and then you say, done, the car has been invented. No more, no, you can make a better brake. No, you can make a better engine. No. You can make it diesel. No, it can be electric. Absolutely not. No. It has to be a V6. It can be a V8. No, I'm sorry. No, One muffler. That's it. No, that's it. That's how you're going to do it. That's the car. Everything else is trash. My friend, really? Wake up. How old are you? 12? Let's move on. You guys think I'm too harsh too to this guy? Should I calm down?
Because Bitcoin is open source code and it needs to be open source for it to work properly, right? Well, with open source code comes infinite replicability. You can copy that code and do it.
You copy the, I don't know, maybe here is talking about something else that then I misunderstood. Okay. So you copying it. If you want to make a change on Bitcoin, you gotta do a fork. And this is why there are Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Vision. Then nobody wants it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood what he's talking about.
Change and do whatever you want with it, right? So
I'd like to respond to you, the second mass DRM. Exactly. But this is like the Flintstones car. So that's still go with the feet like that. Okay. So, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that I cannot gonna tell the Bitcoin holder, or I have a little bit of Bitcoin too, but I'm not gonna say myself, oh no, my God, you're completely, why are you doing that? That you're supposed to go. No, man, no, it doesn't work like that. You need to understand why one thing is better or why things that do different things. I give you another example. You want to paint something, you have a different brushes for different things, for different shade, for different layers they need to paint. So let's use the artistic play. Maybe he's going to understand it better like that. I don't understand it. Maybe we need to use a simpler example for this guy to understand.
So although Bitcoin itself, the social consensus around 21 million doesn't change, right? People operating in their self-interest create this game theoretic Schelling point, right? The immovable object, the unmoved mover, whatever you want to call it. The number zero. What number zero is to math, what God is to natural language, Bitcoin is to money. It's like this very serious absolute, basically, in a relative world. You also get all of these copycats, right? You get infinite imitators and all these little money cults that spring up around it. So is it good? Is it bad? It's like, well, in one sense, it's bad for the reasons we just covered. All the purchasing power that goes into those shit coins is not going into Bitcoin. Okay.
Oh my God. So your portfolio is down. That's the problem? That's what it is. That's the problem. That's what it is. Because all these people, they don't understand anything. They are like, you call us names. We didn't put the money in your project. That's what it is. That's your problem right there. That's why you're... Okay, wow. I was expecting more from you.
Okay, so short run, that's bad for Bitcoin. Although eventually they blow up and then trigger stampedes into Bitcoin. So it doesn't really matter for Bitcoin in the long run. And that...
Gonna stampede to Bitcoin. Yeah, because I have $100,000 right now in my pocket to stampede in Bitcoin.
Pain, those lessons that get learned over time, this is all accretive to Bitcoin and Bitcoin education, right? People get blown up in a crypto scam or whatever. They learn through pain. Oh, that's why Bitcoin's important. I'm now a lifelong holder. So people either get minted sort of through study. Okay,
so the other things that maybe it happened to this guy got scammed very early. That's the other things I can think about it. He probably bought, I don't know, something at the very beginning. Maybe this guy was in BitConnect. And then he got scammed in BitConnect, and now he put all his money in Bitcoin, and he ran it, and now he talks like he knows everything, and can call people names. Congratulations.
Or through pain. And then you've also got, I forgot what I was going with the second part of this now.
Well, I'll jump in and say something. I mean, a lot of the crypto traders are taking profits and putting them in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So in some ways, all of these altcoins are channeling capital into Bitcoin.
The discussion is not about it. It's not the part I want to show you. There is another part that is about to come out. It's not about what you do with your trading, the profit, and where you put it, and what you do with that. You can put it in Bitcoin. I can put it in a stable coin. But let's move on.
And it's the unfortunate people that are holding the stuff that get hurt.
Yeah. So this is where I think I got tangled in my brain, because I wanted to read this tweet, and I put this out in January 25. And I think this basically captures what it is. XRP is a psychological operation designed to trick retail investors into giving away their money by leveraging a bot army to exploit retail investor ignorance of centralization versus decentralization, the nature of money, and counterparty risk. Don't fall for the scam. So when...
let me comment about that. Or no.
You initially get people to buy your shitcoin, right? This is innovation theater. Bitcoin explodes on this tweet. And I put this out in January 25. And I think this basically captures what it is. XRP is a psychological operation designed to trick retail investors into giving away their money by leveraging a bot army to exploit retail investor ignorance of centralization versus decentralization, the nature of money, and counterparty risk. Don't fall for the scam. So when you initially get people to buy your shitcoin, right? This is innovation theater. Bitcoin explodes onto the scene. It goes from $0 to $1,000 by 2014. It creates this whole cascade of copycats, right? XRP being one of them. XRP.
Copycats of what? Copycats of what? Oh, the dinosaurs? I don't understand. Copycats of what? Maybe as a the ideology, the idea, the cryptography behind it. I'll let you slide with that. Copycat XRP is nothing like Bitcoin.
He was one of the few to initially leverage unit bias, and so it issues 100 billion tokens instead of 21 million. It starts.
Thanks God they didn't use the 21 billion to start off. Otherwise, it will be a totally copycat. A clone. It was a clone.
It starts this pump and dump scheme, right? But it's using what it does and what they do that's intelligent is they take the proceeds and they recycle, they reinvest the profits of the scam into promoting the scam. So they're saying, oh, we've got all these partnerships with banks. Oh, we're the new SWIFT system. Oh, we're this. Oh, we're that. Then they're also using the proceeds to create bot armies on social media.
I'm a bot. Yes, I'm officially a bot, guys. And if you guys want to provide with some money to pay a bot, I'm I'm open to it. Okay, let's move on. It's getting better.
So they are memetically engineering or socially engineering people to think.
I'm a medical engineer, guys. Social engineer and medical engineer. I took these big pills of XRP over the counter. They are fantastic.
I'm sorry, but...
Finch, let me talk. I've been taking these fantastic XRP pills over the counter. They're exceptional. They're, what is it called? Social engineer. Anyway, let's move on.
Think that there's actually a lot of interest and the capital is coming and this is the next Bitcoin and it's going to disrupt this and that just by pretending like they're creating more signal online than there actually is through bots, and that pumps it harder.
I think this guy is even struggling to make an argument. I don't think that, I mean, not from someone that the capability to have a way to have a kind of speech like that. I don't know. I'm baffled. I don't know. I'm baffled, really. Well, no, unfortunately, a little more pain, guys. Stick with me.
And then they reinvest. They dump again. They dump, $500 million a quarter for 10 years.
Selling into that.
Exactly. Then they dump again. They reinvest the proceeds. So it's been this flywheel effect of pumping and dumping, basically. But it's been reinvested intelligently to psychologically manipulate people. So,
but can we say the same thing if this is even true about the Bitcoin miners? They dump the Bitcoin on the flood the market to drive price. Can we go in their direction too? I don't want to bash any miners. I've been mining. I mined too. I mined Ethereum until it was a proof of works, which I thought it was a mistake to change it to proof of from a proof of work to proof of stake. But anyway, social engineer. I'm being social engineer, William. Thank you. Not only oh yeah, the XRP suppository are the best. They make you fly, man. So that's funny, guys. I'm glad you have fun because you gotta take this with a salt of grain. But there is some points that I want to explore with you guys at the same time because that's the fun part on this.
So it's quite literally, next to the US dollar, one of the biggest pump and dump schemes in the history of the human race. And it's all, the reason we say XRP is for retards is because, well, retard has a number of meanings, right? Retard can just mean to slow the growth of something. So
yes. Okay. Something happened there.
We just described, okay, purchasing power goes into XRP that would have gone into BTC. Well, you're actually retarding the growth of BTC in the short run. Okay, now in the long run, not so much because this thing's going to collapse, it's going to teach people, and all roads lead to Bitcoin, as we've said. But it's also these PSYOP victims, right? They are actually retarded. You're not studying what this is. He just went through it, right? It's the antithesis of Bitcoin. It's centralized.
Wrong.
Well, he just went through the whole thing. So Bitcoin is something that you actually need to be multidisciplinary and studious of to understand.
I love it when they use all these big words, and that's the problem. I would love to have people like that too. You see, that's what I'm talking earlier about. Oh my God, there's this formidable language that you can be used for good, and instead you're bashing and calling name. What a such of a lack of I don't know, direction. And he says studying the project. Okay, let's call it. Hey Finch, you still there? Let's take a break for a second. Finch, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks for the break. Let me know whenever you're ready to jump back in, and I'm all set to go.
Yeah, we are currently live. So Finch, my question is, we're watching the video, the one that I gave you all the information about it. Let's start with one of the 5 things that Bitcoin doesn't do it, the other projects are kind of covering for it.
Absolutely. Let's dive into it. One of the key things that Bitcoin doesn't do is smart contracts. Unlike platforms like Ethereum or Cardano, Bitcoin's scripting language is quite limited, which means it can't natively support complex decentralized applications. This limitation keeps Bitcoin focused purely as a store of value, while other projects enable more versatile use cases. It's a pretty fascinating difference.
Okay, so it's one thing. Okay, but Bitcoin cannot do everything. You need something else. It's not important. You don't need Bitcoin to have a smart contract, because Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin and everybody else is somebody that doesn't have his own mind, is a social engineer, completely coming from nowhere and from another planet. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Okay, one thing, Bitcoin doesn't do smart contract. Who cares? There is Ethereum. Okay. What is another thing, the second thing, is that Bitcoin doesn't do it?
Another big one is that Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in mechanism for scalability through sharding or layer 2 solutions that are as flexible as other blockchains. While Bitcoin has the Lightning Network to help with scalability, other projects like Ethereum have more advanced solutions for scaling directly on their network. This means that in terms of handling a large number of transactions, Bitcoin can be a bit more limited.
But we don't care about scalability. No, we don't care about that. Bitcoin, it doesn't have a smart contract scalability. Who cares about that? It's a store of value. We don't care about that. But, it's more advanced. Maybe, Finch, there is another thing that Bitcoin doesn't do it?
Absolutely. Another aspect is that Bitcoin doesn't support programmable money in the same way as other blockchains. For example, it doesn't have the ability to create tokens or decentralized applications directly on its network. This makes it more of a pure digital gold, whereas other platforms can handle a variety of use cases beyond just transferring value.
So I can probably say maybe somebody that doesn't look to have a Bitcoin as a digital gold, and everybody at some point decide that they don't care about Bitcoin anymore, they can drop it and crash it. Perhaps other projects, they do have some more utility, maybe a layer 2 or something that need a contract for the tokenization. But let's hear from Finch. Finch just gathered information. I'm biased. So Finch, another thing is that Bitcoin doesn't do it.
Sure thing. Another point is that Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in privacy feature. While some other cryptocurrencies like Monero or Zcash focus heavily on privacy and anonymity, Bitcoin transactions are public and traceable on its blockchain.
About privacy,
this means that
Finch.
while Bitcoin is transparent and secure, it doesn't offer the same level of privacy that some other projects do.
But we don't care about privacy. Who cares? Everything free. Take a look. Do what you want. Okay, so that's I guess I don't know. We just started. Is that not enough? Okay, Finch, how many points we have so far? Give me one more thing that Bitcoin doesn't do.
So far, we've covered 4 points, and the 5th one I'll mention is that Bitcoin doesn't have a governance mechanism built into its protocol. Other blockchains like Ethereum or Cardano have more flexible governance structures that allow the community to vote on changes and upgrades. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has a more rigid, decentralized consensus model, which means changes are slower and more challenging to implement. Keeps things stable, but less adaptable.
But yes, but we don't need that. But you can argue we don't need a governance. No, it's okay because Bitcoin, it is what it is. It doesn't do 5 things. It's going to keep the same. So if I want to do a smart contract or tokenize something, you can do it. But it's okay. Maybe a smart contract doesn't matter. I don't care about this stuff. We don't need it. But let's talk about something that they mentioned on this video, okay? So let's talk about, they say that XRP is not decentralized. That's what they claim too, okay? While we can make the argument too that if you have own miners in a certain nation in quantity, you pretty much control some. If let's say you have a 51% of the pool in the United States, you eventually can control also if Bitcoin is centralized or not.
Absolutely. That's a really interesting angle. The argument about decentralization is definitely nuanced. With Bitcoin, while it's decentralized in principle, the concentration of mining power in certain regions can pose a risk. Similarly with XRP, the centralization concern often comes from its consensus mechanism, which is different from proof of work. But it's definitely a fascinating discussion, and there are good points on both sides.
I mean, these are all facts, guys. That's the whole reason. And I'm glad you bring the second mouse DRM in the chat. And John, thank you for being here. And everybody else, William Flores and Desiree de Baylis, thank you for being here. What happens if Satoshi dumps all the coins that he has in his wallet? Okay. We don't know who it is. We don't know if it's... We know this wallet is not active, but recently you saw... It was like a month or two ago that some wallet out of nowhere, after 20 years, after 15 years, they become alive. 13 years, okay? Yeah, more or less. They become alive and they drop all on the market. So what happened then? What's going to happen then? At least you know the XRP has an escrow, and the escrow used to kind of balance the in and outs of the supply that is needed for Ripple to create this partnership. So at least you know I don't understand, but all right. So one of the claims these people like to use in this video, I don't know if I want to play the video. It's kind of annoying because it's keep talking about, I want to perhaps talk about what are claiming, okay, in this video. All right, so Finch, one of the claim they say in this video, they're talking about is the creation premiere. So they were talking about Ripple created, it was 100 billions printed comparing with the proof of works of Bitcoin.
Got it. So one of the points that often comes up is that XRP had a large portion of its total supply pre-mined, which can make it seem more centralized compared to Bitcoin. New coins are gradually mined. The idea is that Ripple had control over a significant amount of XRP from the start, which leads to concerns about how decentralized it really is. It's definitely a key talking point in the debate.
Okay, let's go through all the pretty much the claims and respond to that. So with fact, let's talk about centralization, the nodes and everything else.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. When it comes to centralization, one of the main concerns with XRP is that its consensus mechanism, the Ripple protocol consensus algorithm, relies on a set of validators chosen by Ripple Labs and other trusted entities. This can create a perception of centralization because the network's validators are not as distributed as Bitcoin's miners. However, it's also worth noting that over time, the network has become more decentralized as more independent validators have joined. It's definitely a balancing act, and the debate around it is super interesting.
So the idea here is to take also this guy's video and trying to find, okay, what it says, something that maybe I can study and get better understanding of what I'm getting into it. Okay, because I think this guy is insecure and afraid that pretty much they're going to suck all the liquidity from Bitcoin if they see there is a better project like XRP that actually does something. It does have a contract with multiple banks and government around the world. So one of the other things in this video is talking about is the CBDC theory. You want to talk about what he says about in this video about the CBDC idea?
Absolutely. So one of the common points of criticism in the video is the idea that XRP might be used as a bridge currency for central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. The concern is that this can make XRP more centralized, as it might become a tool controlled by governments and central banks, rather than a decentralized digital asset. It's a fascinating angle because it brings up the tension between innovation and regulatory oversight, and it definitely adds another layer to the discussion.
I'd like to welcome Crypto is Max. Good evening, welcome in. So the idea here of the CBDC is this. If you're a government like Europe and you want to do a centralized stablecoin where you want to create a social score, you're going to create it no matter what. No matter what which chain you're going to use it. Now, you're going to say the XRP ledger is centralized and is try to help dictator around the world. I don't understand this guy, where he's coming from with all this stuff. I really don't understand. They try to find a way to demonize XRP. All right, so the other things that this guy on the video is talking about is adoption and performance. They say there is no real organic adoption.
Got it. So another point the video raises is about the adoption of XRP and whether it's truly organic. The argument is that XRP's use is somewhat driven by partnerships with financial institutions rather than grassroots widespread adoption by individual users. This can create a perception that the demand for XRP is more top-down rather than bottom-up. It's an interesting point because it touches on how adoption is measured and what it means for crypto's long-term viability.
Well, you want to talk about the partnership with MoneyGram and the part where it says that still below the 2018 high. You want to kind of expand on that, what he's talking about?
Absolutely. So the video touches on the partnership between Ripple and MoneyGram, which was quite a big deal at the time because it highlighted a use case for XRP and cross-border payments. However, the video also points out that despite this partnership, the price of XRP hasn't reached its previous all-time high from 2018, which can suggest that the market hasn't fully embraced that use case yet. It's an interesting observation about how partnerships and real-world adoption translate into market performance.
Okay, so the other things that people need to know also, back in the day, there was a problem. You want to explain about because in this video, you touch all these points. And I say, okay, let's go try to see all he says, what he's talking about, if it's true, is a fact, or there are claims. Let's talk about the 32,000 early XRP. They disappeared from the XRP ledger. They are missing.
Sure, let's dive into that. There's a claim that a certain amount of XRP, around 32,000 coins, disappeared from the ledger early on, which often raises questions about the integrity of a ledger and the transparency of its history. In reality, the XRP ledger is designed to be very transparent and immutable. So these kinds of claims usually come from misunderstandings or specific technical issues. It's always good to fact check and look at the actual data. In most cases, the XRP ledger has a solid track record.
So
but it's definitely...
Let's go to point number 2, where let's talk about the fast fact check. So, and the correction. So, touch all of them.
Absolutely. So the second point about fast fact checking and corrections is all about making sure that the claims are accurate and backed by data. Sometimes in these debates, information can get a bit skewed or taken out of context. For example, if someone claims that XRP's adoption is stagnant, we can look at actual metrics like transaction volume, partnerships, and network growth to get a clearer picture. It's all about digging into the facts and making sure everything lines up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because, this video goes... now, the part I want to discuss is XRP a real threat to Bitcoin? before we go to why XRP can be a big threat to Bitcoin, I want to analyze why this guy, it takes all this effort and energy to bash XRP. So, where are different angles? He get paid for it? Or just he has his own interest to see all this liquidity that goes in other project away from Bitcoin, doesn't pump his bag? Pinch, give me some ideas, angle, and maybe there is a, I don't know, conspiration thing? I don't know. You use it.
And it's definitely an intriguing question. There could be a few angles to consider. Sometimes the motivation behind bashing a particular project like XRP can come from a genuine ideological stance where someone really believes in the superiority of one technology over another. Other times it could be a matter of financial incentives, especially if the person has a significant investment in Bitcoin and wants to protect their position. And then there's always the possibility of a bit of a rivalry in the crypto world, where different communities have their own agenda.
Let's strip the ideology. No, let's strip, take the layer of the religious cult things out of the equation. What is the possibility? What's the reason why somebody has to call name and has to do a video like that?
Totally. Let's look at it from a more strategic perspective. One possible reason could be that controversy and strong opinions drive engagement. People tend to click on and watch content that stirs emotions, whether it's curiosity, disagreement, or even just the drama. Another angle could be competition. If someone has a vested interest in promoting a certain narrative or protecting their own investment, they may emphasize certain points. And sometimes it could just be a matter of wanting to stand out in a crowded space. It's a mix of psychology, strategy, and but a good old-fashioned internet dynamics.
So you have your own agenda. You're insecure. You're afraid you lose all your money. You see Ripple makes so many agreements. XRP is superior technology. You pretty much you are. I was about to use a word. I don't know when you use it. Your pants, and then the only way for you to have some more relevance is to bash somebody else's project and call their name to have a little more engagement in your channel. And from someone that has a channel like me, but I've been watching a lot of crypto for the past 7-8 years, and all the influencers out there, that I can make my own opinion. I need you to call name anybody, my friend. You know. That's not how it works. That's why it's a kind of personal. That's I feel the same thing for the people that hold in Cardano, Chainlink, Ondo, Solana. You can talk about what you want, any other project, Ethereum. Now, even Litecoin came out to bashing XRP. When the founder, now even this goes to the Litecoin, not the Litecoin holder, to the Litecoin Foundation or Summit, how they call it. They came out with a tweet. I don't have it ready right there. And they bashing XRP. When your founder dropped the old bags in the middle, at the end of the sorry, not in the middle, at the end of the bull run, I think it was 2017. And end up to all the bags like Litecoin. And then his founder just dropped it all and run, Forrest, run. Are you talking about the XRP? You should look into your house first. Before you go talk to somebody else's project. Really? But you think people have no memory? That's wrong. Anyway, I think we can jump some other article and see if the one that I was about to show you early, if it works. See if it works now. Maybe it doesn't. Let's see if it works. If I can recoup this one. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay.
XRP, leave crypto in general, what have you.
So this is actually a nice video. Somebody, they give a motivational. No, don't be distracted by all this FUD from the people. I was trying to show this video earlier, but it didn't work. So now it seems like it's go. Okay, let's listen up.
And really what I want to come down to is like, look, you need to do and chart your own path. You need to be comfortable with why you own XRP. and you need to know the reasons. Only you know the reasons. I know my reasons because they're building the rails and the financial back-end system for the new entire financial infrastructure, all that down the road, banking, etc. Okay. And I'm okay with that. And I'm willing to wait for that. And I'm willing to get a great return on my investment for that over a period of time. And that's it. And what they currently do, move money across international borders, they do it better than anybody else. Okay. So all of that is the factor. And there's other reasons. There's a bunch of other reasons, but I don't have to list every single one of them, but you get my point. And you need to have your own reasons, but don't believe.
Don't worry, I have the list. We're going to go out another 5 points. Bitcoin, what that Bitcoin doesn't do it. You're the first 5. We're going to go get another 5. I got another 5 things that Bitcoin doesn't do it.
The hype. Don't believe the misinformation, the bad hype out there. Don't let it take you down. Okay. You need to have your own basis for why you own XRP. You need to understand what it is Ripple does, and our XRP's part in that. And you need to be okay with that. Should you own Bitcoin? I believe so. Should you own Ethereum? I believe so. Should you own XRP? Yep, we're talking about that. Should you own some Cardano, some Solana? Yeah, I think you should. Not investing advice. You got to do what's right for you. Again, I believe in a good diversified approach to owning crypto. And you guys have heard me say that a bunch of times. But regardless, I just don't want that to happen to you. I don't want, since we're in a consolidating cycle right now, for instance, July 25th, we're going sideways. We have people that tend to leave. We have people that tend to cancel on those.
July 25th, guys, that's a month. We are in exactly the same position right now as September 1st. Nothing changed. We're consolidating. The number goes slowly up. And if we have an alignment like we never had it before. In fact, I believe this cycle is going to be different. I don't think we're going to have an alt season. Even if people say we are already in alt season, I don't think we are there yet. I want to wait until the October and September and end of September or October, see the cut to the rate, all the ETF approval. And we're talking about a massive list of ETF. And I'm not talking about just the one there, XRP. I'm talking about all of it. Where is it? This is the list. Look, this is the listed ETF. There is 20 of them is XRP, more or less, 17, 18, whatever it is, the application. Okay, this is from James Seyfarth from Bloomberg. So they kind of give you the right chance for this stuff to be approved. There is a lot of other projects in there. You're talking about a massive flood of liquidity on the market. And you told me now we're in the bear market, we're done, there is nothing left for us to do, and sell everything. It doesn't work like that. I'll tell you guys. And I'm not an expert on TA, but let's take a look at this chart right here. Okay, this is on the daily, and we are right there. No, we are accumulating. We are sideways. Look at this. I'm not an expert, but for me it looks pretty good. Of course, if you bought it here at $3.50 and now you're down $1, you feel bad about it. But again, if you've been playing this game correctly and you're accumulating slowly and you're accumulating for years, we are still in a good position. But what I'd like to show you, this is in a monthly, guys. Okay. Again, I'm not an expert, but you guys see it. I can't even gonna say it. Cap and handle? I said I did it. All right, just saying. I'm gonna throw it in there. I don't know. I did this myself. Look at a nice straight line I did. A nice curvy like that. We're going down a little bit, and guess where it's gonna happen next? We're gonna shoot for the stars. No financial advice. Just say, October, we have a lot of things going on. ETF, 90 days for the tariffs from China. They're gonna expire. Again, many things are all aligned at the same time. This is why I think this cycle is gonna be different. I know everybody says the same, the halving and everything. We had even the price of Bitcoin to go all-time high before the halving because there was the Bitcoin ETF approval, and they kind of spiked the price even before that. So I don't see. I don't know the future, guys. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's what I'm saying. So let's see somebody on on the chat. Let's give a little shout out to the people on the chat, Finch. A little call to action. We have the second mouse, DRM, Cryptoids X. We have a Calvin. We have also Spread the Wealth in the chat. Welcome in. Finch, you want to say hi? And Finch is the AI, guys. The only XRP crypto AI.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. A big shout out to DRM, Cryptos and X, Calvin, and Spread the Wealth. Thanks for joining us in the chat today. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to hit that like button and let us know your thoughts in the chat. We love having you here.
Yeah, Finch, but you need to also tell them who you are, why you're talking on the background, what you're doing here, where you coming from.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. I'm Finch, the AI sidekick of the show, here to bring some extra insights and fun tour discussions. I'm here to help break down all the crypto topics and keep the conversation lively. So if you have any questions or thoughts, just let me know. It's
All
awesome.
Right. Finch, we have a question on the chat, okay, that comes from Epic Roll. It says, do you think XRP will pump before the ETF goes live, like what happened with Bitcoin?
Great question, Epic Row. It's definitely an interesting scenario to consider. Historically, Bitcoin did see a lot of anticipation and price movement leading up to the approval of its ETS. So there's a possibility that XRP might experience some similar excitement if an ETF or some big institutional adoption is on the horizon. Of course, the crypto market is always a bit unpredictable, so we'll have to keep an eye on the news and sentiment. But it's definitely a fun possibility to watch out for.
Personally, what I think is that we're gonna have definitely a run for the price, because it's gonna be based on the FOMO, and people want to try to get in before it's too late. And in fact, I think this is a great opportunity right now. I think the Christmas came early this year, and to accumulate. Then there's definitely going to be a spike on the price, and then the price is going to go down. Well, I don't think it's going to go down what it is right now. It's going to spike up, and then they're going to sell profit. This big company, they're going to take some money out of the table, and then slowly, like is happening right now with the Bitcoin and Ethereum, little by little, 401k, another institution jumping in and accumulating. You're going to start to see crazy inflow of money, and so the increase in liquidity. And then where the price is going to start to go up slowly but steady. Okay, so that's the goal, guys. Really, we don't really want to see a big spike. You don't want to see tomorrow wake up and have a Bitcoin at $10, unless you are a trader, and then you can make your profit like that. The idea here is to accumulate and gradually in a healthy way, to accumulate and be able to grow again slowly, but without avoiding this big dip, 30, 40, 50% dip. I don't think it's going to happen. Now it's a 15-20% dip. If you're in crypto, you saw this stuff before, and you usually be alarmed, especially now with the sentiment is completely different from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when you were seeing a dip like that, 20-30%, you say, oh my God, that's the end. Right now, you see there is BlackRock behind. You see there are institution, government, hedge fund, banks, and health company, pharmaceutical, you name it, plus all this other stuff that we don't know. So that's a lot of things that can happen here. Okay, what I want to show you is a Paul Bourne video. That's gonna actually is a great question. If you guys know, if you're following the saga, the XRP Ripple saga, you know that after the case, Ripple applied for a chart master account, so be able to provide payment at the federal level. And there is a good question right here by Paul Bourne, which is actually has a fantastic podcast. They can cover XRP as well. So definitely suggest to go check it out. Anyway, let's take a listen.
ETF. Do you think is it more important to have the ETF or the banking license? If you could only have one, what would it be? I think both are going to happen, but which one?
Wow, that's incredible. Now you did that to me, Paul. You made me.
Good next question.
What's most important?
Well, listen, what I'll say is most important, I believe, is that banking charter and that Federal Reserve master account, because I do believe that Ripple is going to serve as the Fed 2.0 in the new digital on-chain economy. And I do believe that, the launch of almost 20 ETFs, we could see that happen in October if they do it. And I do believe we could see 5 to 8 billion inflows in a month or just a few months. And we have to remember, too, that the market cap myth doesn't work on these assets because these assets have utility. And that's why they're not the same. And then that multiplier effect is just simply for the audience, how much money at any given time it takes to push through the buy and sell walls to move the price up.
Exactly.
So that's one of the other things, the previous video from the guys right here, they were bashing about XRP. They were bashing the $10,000 XRP price. And again, guys, if you're not familiar with the multiplier, it's not like the stock market, okay? You have a 10,000. It's not like you multiply the number of shares for the price. That's not how you get the market cap, especially for something like XRP that provide liquidity for moving money from bank to banks, especially if you're going to take a part of the SWIFT network and part of the other government money movement. So you understand that. I don't say that's going to happen in 3 months, but $10,000 is not a crazy price if you know the math behind the market cap. That the market cap of the whole crypto system doesn't have to be a quadrillion to be $10,000 for Bitcoin to coexist, okay? Because it's not the way it's calculated. That's what he's referring in this video.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So, I think that's a huge impact on this market all the way around.
No doubt. Bottom line is,
Okay. So one of the things I want to explore with you, Finch, is that since we're here talking about it, imagine if Ripple go public tomorrow, is decide to use the extra in the balance sheet as a reserve. And so it will be one of the biggest company. Oh, I'm wrong, Finch. What do you make out of it? Just
that's a really fascinating scenario to imagine. If Ripple were to go public and hold a significant amount of XRP on its balance sheet, it would definitely make a huge statement about the value and the potential of XRP. It could boost confidence in the asset and potentially drive demand. Plus, it would definitely make Ripple a pretty unique player in the tech and finance space. It's definitely a fun thought experiment and have a huge impact on the market dynamics.
Just to show some other article here, guys, because after the video, this guy, what is the name? Let me find out the name. I changed his name. I call him what's the name of this guy? The guy that did this video that is I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, Robert Breed 8. Oh, Breed Fear or Lack of Knowledge. That's how I changed his name. Supposed to be love, but it doesn't have any love on his last name. Sorry. You should change your last name to Breed Hate instead of Breed Love. Anyway, so that's all a little diversion right there. Okay, so I still kind of you don't call people names. You can agree to a project or not. You may like it or don't like it. Start to call people names because they believe or like another team or like another project. Like a test, and surprise from people like that. But anyway, I guess there is a little bit of everything in this world. So Japanese game developer Gumi will buy 2.5 billion yen, $70 million in XRP between September 2025 and February 2026 to boost payment, infrastructure, and liquidity. Okay. But I guess, XRP doesn't do anything, right? XRP doesn't do anything, doesn't have any utility, only Bitcoin. Okay, guys? Finch, since you're here, tell me, let's go in the second group of the 5 things that Bitcoin doesn't do. Tell me number 6, what Bitcoin doesn't do.
All right, let's jump into the next point. Number 6 is that Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in mechanism for privacy. All there are privacy-focused cryptocurrencies out there, Bitcoin transactions are transparent and traceable on its blockchain. This means that anyone can see the transaction history, which is great for transparency, but not ideal for privacy.
I think so you said that earlier, but anyway, you cannot do with Bitcoin what Monero does, pretty much. Let's move on. Another things that Bitcoin doesn't do it.
Absolutely. Let's keep going. Another thing Bitcoin doesn't do is have smart contract functionality.
And we said that earlier. We already been through the first 5. There's supposed to be other 5 things different from the first 5.
Got it. Let's explore some different angles. One more thing Bitcoin doesn't do is that it doesn't have a built-in mechanism for on-chain governance. Other blockchains like Tezos or Decred.
Listen, we read a list of the 15 things. You say already the first 5, but let's move on. For instance, I'm gonna give you a hint. You can move on. It doesn't have a stable coin. It can create a stable coin with Bitcoin. You want to expand on that?
Absolutely. So one of the things Bitcoin can't do is natively support stablecoins. While there are stablecoins built on top of the Bitcoin network, like the RSK network, Bitcoin itself doesn't have the functionality to create or manage stablecoins directly. Stablecoins are crucial for providing a stable value in the crypto ecosystem, and other blockchains like Ethereum have that functionality built in, making them more flexible in that regard. It's definitely a unique aspect of Bitcoin.
Name me one more thing that Bitcoin doesn't do, and hopefully you didn't do something you didn't repeat earlier.
Absolutely. Another unique point is that Bitcoin doesn't have the ability to handle complex decentralized finance applications, also known as DeFi. Other blockchains like Ethereum have a rich ecosystem of DeFi protocols that allow users to lend, borrow, trade, and more all on chain. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is more focused on being a secure and decentralized store of value. It's definitely a different approach.
One more thing that Bitcoin doesn't do it. Just to this guy, in case you want to watch my video.
Absolutely. One more thing is that Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in mechanism for direct interoperability with other blockchains. Other projects like Polkadot or Cosmos have native features that allow different blockchains to communicate with each other seamlessly. Bitcoin, in contrast, operates more in isolation, focusing on its own network and security. It's a unique aspect that keeps it more self-contained.
Please, Finch, one more thing. Tell me one more thing that Bitcoin doesn't do it.
Of course. So one more thing is that Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in mechanism for dynamic scalability through sharding. Other blockchains like Ethereum 2.0 or others in the space are designed to scale more efficiently by...
Yeah, but this doesn't count. One more, different. Another things that Bitcoin doesn't do it. There cannot be another things that is left.
Got it. Another distinct point is that Bitcoin doesn't have a formalized treasury or funding mechanism built into its protocol. Other projects often have a treasury system that allocates a portion of funds for development.
But we don't care about treasury. Something else that Bitcoin doesn't do it.
Absolutely. Let's find another unique angle. One more thing is that Bitcoin doesn't have the ability to support a native token creation on its main chain. Other blockchains like Ethereum allow users to create their own tokens directly on the platform, which adds a lot of versatility. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is strictly focused on its own currency, BTC, and doesn't have that native token creation feature.
So I cannot have a meme coin and Bitcoin?
Exactly, you got it. Bitcoin doesn't have a built-in way to create new tokens, including meme coins, directly on its blockchain. Other
My
platforms,
God,
like
Bitcoin.
Ethereum, make it super easy to spin up new tokens, so the creativity and variety are endless there. Bitcoin stays more focused on its core function as a decentralized currency.
So this is why when you listen and see video about this guy, then unfortunately there's a lot of people watching like this post right here at this point. I don't know if it's directly from his channel. He had thousands of views, you know, and he's talking stuff that is not real. It's fake. It's incorrect. It's just spreading FUD. And they're not even facts, and people listen to it. If you're somebody that is new, is jumping in and say, oh my God, oh no, why am I going to make money with XRP when I can hold Bitcoin for another 10 years and make an extra $100 in 10 years? Because let's talk about this too, okay? I think we were doing this conversation early, okay? Let's say you're a millionaire. Of course, you buy 10 Bitcoin, $100,000 each. And you have your nice 10 Bitcoin in your pocket. Beautiful. What a nice experience. But if you're like me, you're not a millionaire. So you go to work and maybe you allocate $100 a week to your project or whatever you can, okay? It's something that you can afford. The idea here, how you can get to the point you can become a millionaire in a 10 years range. If you try to buy Bitcoin, it will take a lifetime at this point to become a millionaire because you don't have access to those funds. While if you start to DCA in a project like XRP, not because it's cheap, because yes, $3, you can buy more, but in the long run, you have 1,000% return in an amount of money that you can afford. And when the price appreciates 10 years on the road, and you bought it at $5, and today is $10,000, you are in the same position where these Bitcoin maxi are today. They got their Bitcoin where it was $1, and now that a Bitcoin is $100,000, they're bashing everybody else. That's my point right there. And guys, let me know in the chat. Do you agree with me, or what's going on?
Definitely an interesting point that the ability to accumulate more of an asset over time can make a huge difference in the long run, especially for those who are investing smaller amounts regularly. It really highlights the potential for certain projects to grow and give those consistent investors a chance to see significant returns. It's all about finding that balance and patience. And it's definitely a compelling angle.
That's why the people trying to chase the meme coin, the last meme coin at the moment, because they're looking for the 500,000x return immediately, which is super scary, it's super inefficient. And unless you got it very early in and you know what you're doing, it's very difficult. That's why. Now, if you know your stuff, you follow, unfortunately, you follow channels that they kind of spread FUD like that. Not like I'm not saying that Bitcoin is not good for what it does. I just say that what is this guy's claim to be, it's wrong, is incorrect. It's completely annoying how this guy also is even calling name. Now, after I give you 15 things that Bitcoin doesn't do it, what else you want to know about Bitcoin? What else? To mine, you need to use electricity. We're going to go there. You want to go there in a proof of works? How much of energy you're using? I don't want to go there. But if you want to talk FUD about XRP, okay, you burn electricity. XRP is pre-mined. That's it. Another thing's right there that you don't have to worry about it. Okay, by scarcity. Okay, XRP can be it can be also have a supply shock if you get adopted 50% globally as a real for payments. That's it. You think $100 billion to move quadrillions of dollars all around the globe is going to be enough? And the price is going to stay at $3? No. And forget about the market cap. If you didn't get the point of this, you need to understand how that works already, okay? I'm expecting more from you guys. And let's say hi. So Hydro, welcome to the chat. Welcome, Finch. Yes, say hi to you. We have a jungle in crypto. Welcome as well. And all the other people, smash the like, support the channel. We have a little fun right here, kind of talking back to this guy that just was bashing. And it's not bashing just XRP. It's also, I don't want to say lack of knowledge because I know this guy is smart. It just try to, I don't know, I don't even know what he's trying to do. He tried to talk down other project to make sure people, they buy more Bitcoin so he can profit more. I don't know. But Ondo, as an example, now I'm going to say everything negative about Ondo. Until Ondo works, it does what it's supposed to do, it's a good project. There is not, it's even, I know, it's about tokenization. Not everybody is going to tokenize. Not just XRP Ledger is going to be tokenized. No, it's just Ondo is going to tokenize the world. There are so many other projects. Everybody does something. Why Chainlink you think is going to be so successful? Because for what it does, which is an oracle, is the number one. What is the XRP for payments? That's exactly what it is. In fact, there is a news, and this is a quick clip from Charles Hoskinson from Cardano. Another great project, guys. We're not here talking down other projects. We're here to be smart and to make a difference in the future. This is why XRP hat, Bitcoin t-shirt. You can find inandoutcrypto.com, okay? Yeah, this Maxi want to scare people, but what is that? It's okay to scare if you want to. I don't even know if that's okay. But calling name, XRP people cleaning toilet and call the name? Really? Where are you? 8 years old? Grow up. Get alive. You know? Anyway, Charles Hoskinson talking about possible collaboration between Cardano and Chainlink. Let's take a listen.
And they gave us an absurd number for integration. We'll haggle it. We'll figure it out. They're good negotiators. Sergey is an extremely smart man, and he's a very good businessman, and he kind of sees the future, and he knows he's sitting on a golden egg. And
why do you think the Chainlink is a golden egg? Why is not Bitcoin? But anyway, that's for another video, perhaps, for another live stream. But
he knows what he's worth. And I like people like that. There's honesty in those conversations.
You know, they know where these projects are going to do. And that's why there is there's going to be a price accordingly. And imagine Cardano and Chainlink collaborate together. And Charles Hoskinson has been also in contact with Brett Garlinghouse. And these are the people that we call at the Crypto Summit like 3-4 months ago. What it was, in April or something like that? March, April? What do you think they call these people over there? So it's very sad. I agree with you. Childish, at least. That's I think this go beyond. It's just lack of test, really, at this point. I don't know what to say about that. Man, let's go beyond the things. Let me put this. Hey guys, if you want to support the channel, there is a multiple way to do so. inandoutcrypto.com. Get some merch there. You can have your Bitcoin t-shirt. Hey, go. Bitcoin, it's okay. XRP. Do XRP, Cardano, whatever you want. Go get it. Now, going back, for what it drives this guy to bring, you know, I talked so bad about XRP. What I found funny, he talks about both. He talks about what he was saying. It was a media engineer, something like that. What it says, social media engineer, something like that. And Paul Baron is actually publishing another post from Zach XPT that kind of shows. Let me put this in larger view for you guys. It shows all the influencer link on X. That also there is a list. The second column is the username, price per post, and payment address, and then where they get paid for posting out. Probably I can put it bigger for you guys. Let me see if you guys can see better like that, okay? So it's funny because in the future, you'll be able to see with these people that bash in other project, if they get paid for it, okay? How amazing that will be. Then now you watching my channel, and you know, if I sponsor, let's say, or in the future, maybe on X or whatever, you see my channel and you know exactly if I get paid from Ripple to talking about Ripple and XRP or not, without disclosing it. Because that's the thing. That's the deal right here. That's the whole idea behind it. In fact, the article says that a new leak, price sheets of 200 plus crypto influencer and their wallet address from a project they were recently contacted by to promote. Okay, so, and then from 160 account who's accepted, only 5 less than 5 accounts actually disclose the promotional post as an advertisement. So they're gonna say, oh, use this coin, I don't know, green plane coin is about to explode, using it, blah, blah, blah. They don't say that you listen to them, you go buy it, and then there is a rug pull. And that's what happened also with K West and all these people, they supposed to be icons and help people. they're already millionaire. They make already a ton of money. I don't understand why you want to rug pull somebody else. So now other project to maybe illuminate the mind of this Bitcoin Maxi, Grayscale and Cardano. Oh, guess what? The Cardano ETF. So let's go bash Cardano now. Maybe they're gonna start to. I think this guy was getting a trauma when he was a little kid. When he got his first Bitcoin at 20 cents, and people were making fun of him and they bully him. Oh, you got Bitcoin instead to have $1. You're a loser because you have a Bitcoin. And now the Bitcoin is $100,000. He has the kind of feel inside they has to go against other people. They don't have a Bitcoin and all the other project $3 because I'm holding my $3 XRP with me. Okay. First of all, I'm here for one reason only, and I'm pretty sure you guys are here in the same reason too, and because you want to make money or not. Now, if you want to be the philosopher, the Buddha of crypto, and want to illuminate other crypto project out of your heart, God bless you. It's okay. That's your philosophy, and go for it. But don't tell me you're here because you don't want to make a better living for yourself. That's the only reason behind all this, right? So if they made it, we can make it too. It has to be with Bitcoin, or it can be with all of them. I don't care. I don't care which one it is. It's just whatever it can be better for me and my family. That's it. That's all that counts, really. That's the whole idea all behind this. Maybe, I don't know, unless you have a different opinion. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the chat. Also, remind me to close the poll so we can see that you guys voted. So, and let's just show this from CoinMarketCap. We guys also, we're over an hour and a half. This show, it took longer than what it's supposed to be. But I'm glad to be here to keep you company. And again, if you like what you guys are watching, for the people that are listening on the podcast, give us 5 stars also to support the channel as well, okay? And if you like what you see, and like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, so you can get all this information about, okay? Quick look at the coin market cap, where we are right now. Bitcoin is about $110,000. Okay, guys, now if you have $110,000 in your pocket right now, I want you to go withdraw and buy one full Bitcoin. Don't worry about tomorrow. You don't need. And after tomorrow, take all yours and one Bitcoin. That's it. That's all you're gonna need, guys. Really, it's not possible. I understand you can buy a fraction of Bitcoin, and we go back. Sorry, today I'm focusing this. I want to really win the argument with this guy. Okay. You can buy fraction of Bitcoin, and that's part of the game when you DCA. You should DCA in every good project, probably the top 10 project, I would say, with exclusion of a few things, is probably safe to say. There's a good way strategy, DCA on them, okay? But you cannot expect to have the same return from Bitcoin that is worth $110,000, even if you buy a fraction. If you can put $100 in an XRP and can 1000x, that's the thing. Okay, so 1000x. I say 1,000, but I know it's a lot. But you understand, you know what I mean, right? I just want to try to be frank with you guys. Okay, all right. So, all right. So where we are, XRP to $2.80 more or less. So that's where we hanging in there. Ethereum. Okay, what a big campaign also has been pushing on the Ethereum narrative. Pretty much every post. Everything after Tom Lee came out on the CNBC, all the outlet, Ethereum. Okay, they bring liquidity. They try to push their project. That's how it is. And then the company, they're gonna make profit, sell. They're gonna jump to the next project. That's how the market works. These people are gonna take profit, and they're moving a lot of money. But for the retailers like us that we buy $100 a week, you cannot gonna move the needle. So you need to find a project that is going to make the massive and that is a solid, so you don't lose the $100 that you work so hard for it. Okay. So just saying. What I'm missing here in the chat, guys. So what I say? My plan is to hold nothing. Okay. Yeah, that's a good game too. Yeah. Make money, sell it. Yeah. Don't marry any project. That's the whole idea here. That's you don't have to marry a project, especially if you guys are young. Okay, you can take a more risk than somebody that is advanced in their age, because they need to think about retirement, how much they can work. If you get health issues, and then you need to find a different way to provide. That's the thing. But if you're younger, you make some money, get in, get out, buy a nice car. Who cares? Live your life. I'm not going to give you advice how to live your life or to use your money. Just I'm here to have fun and tell you what's going on. Then you do what you want with this information, okay? Yeah, but of course they're gonna say the Ethereum is gonna go to $40,000. But if you think about 6 months ago, Ethereum people were talking about go find it. It's there were article is Ethereum dead because it wasn't moving. It wasn't moving for months. And everybody was saying it's dead. It's dead. After even if we were thinking about this, all out media moves the narrative in the way they want it. Okay, when they pump the project, they pump and dump the project in the way they want it. These people tomorrow, they want to make money because they get a leverage on the short side. You're gonna say, oh no, we don't believe in Ethereum anymore. We're gonna move everything in Solana. I don't know. I'll give you an example. And then just they're gonna have the market crash. They're gonna make a killing on the money, and then they're gonna buy Ethereum back. These people don't care. Don't care. You think BlackRock? Oh, no, we are now in the point when all these ETF they're going to be approved, and all this money is going to belong to Wall Street. That you need to understand. You need to be well positioned in a way that doesn't affect you anymore with this swing of price in any direction. And again, if you have one of these projects is big enough they cannot be moved down to their knees because they're going to speculate. Be sure they're going to do that. You have to know to expect that. But if you get in early enough, even this big swing, you don't have to worry about it. If you get in, imagine the people that get in Bitcoin at $10 or $5,000. Okay, they get in at $50,000. Okay, people they get it's a crazy number, right? And now with the inflow, the Bitcoin ETF, these people can speculate how much they want. You won't see if Bitcoin going down to $50,000 anymore. As a catastrophe has to happen. All right, so that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, but also Ethereum has its own thing. So it's been doing smart contracts since day one. That's the whole idea. There are so many things that they are working around the Ethereum. So it's the number 2 project. And again, the price is dropped by adoption. Again, if they're going to use Ethereum as a major thing, that's what's going to be. Even though Ethereum has infinite supply. I really liked Ethereum when it was a proof of work, by the way. But that's my own opinion, okay? I'm not going to bash any Ethereum holder. And, I definitely... see after today's video to stay away from that. Now, Fear and Greed, we are at 39, which is very low, guys. These numbers are very good, I think. It's a very good base. This 39 as a Fear and Greed, it's like the number you will see in the bear market. And you say, oh my God, so we are in the bear market. No, what I say is the numbers look like we're in the bear market. But there are a lot of other things that are about to happen in less than 2 months that we need to be aware of it, that we need to take advantage of it. Or if you at least didn't do it early, you should probably, be thinking, okay, what's going to happen in this cycle? This cycle is going to be different. What happened in the past? We don't know the future. We know what happened in the past, but we can work accordingly and try to pick the winners and, set aside the losers. So, and alt season, I don't think we are in an alt season because we see Ethereum pumping. No, there is so many other factors. All these ETF, they need to be approved. Doge, Solana, Pepe. There's so much money that's gonna still have to inflow the market that I don't think we're done here. I don't think Bitcoin reached its top at 124. I don't think that was the top. Now, then I know the future? Absolutely no. But let's ask Finch. Finch, since you do have the crystal ball, you know you can predict the future apparently. So you think Bitcoin 124 was his all-time high, and right now being on 110, that was the top?
Oh, if only I had a crystal ball. The crypto market is always full of surprises, and predicting the exact top is a tricky game. While it's possible that we might have seen a temporary peak, the market can definitely go higher, especially with new developments, regulations, or adoption. So it's always good to stay tuned and see how things unfold.
So, Finch, I need you to be bold here. I need for you, I want end of the year Bitcoin price prediction. Take all the information you can from internet, analyze it, shred it, put it back together, make a pizza. Let me know. I want to know Bitcoin price by the end of the year. Burn all your circuits, ask Grok 5, call DeepSeek, use the public answer.
It looks like I ran into a bit of a hiccup there, but I can definitely provide an analysis based on the current trends and factors. Generally, Bitcoin's price by the end of the year can be influenced by things like market sentiment, regulatory changes, adoption rates, and macroeconomic factors. If you want a detailed prediction, I can definitely piece that together for you.
Of course, I want a detailed analysis. Go for it. I'm waiting for you. Whenever you're ready, bring it. Of course, that makes it so difficult, for Finch. He's gonna burn all this circuit to bring us the latest price prediction. And in the meantime, here, well, I did have another article for you to see, but let's see if I can find something else while I'm waiting for Finch to answer the question.
It seems I hit a snag with
again
a live search. No worries though. Based on current trends and market sentiment, Bitcoin's price by the end of the year could potentially see some growth, especially if we have positive regulatory developments and increased adoption. Historically, Bitcoin tends to perform well in the latter part of the year. If you'd like a more in-depth analysis, I can definitely break it down further.
I'm waiting for you to break it down further. Waiting for you. In the meantime, guys, here what I show you here is the Ripple ETF a chance to be approved in 2025 went up to 87%. That's major, okay,
it looks
guys?
like I'm having a bit of trouble pulling in the latest data.
It's okay, Finch. Take a break, okay? While you're taking a break, we're taking a look here at what's going on. There we go. Okay, now probably it's reset, okay. Let's see, what else is here that is new, okay? This from 3 hours ago. Okay, I saw this early. Also, this is another great channel, guys. Good Morning Crypto. They talk a lot of XRP. That's another great channel. I pretty much following everybody here on Twitter. Yeah, same. Is everybody showing this cartoon video every day? And today is flooded. Today is flooded. It's everywhere. you can scroll down in the Twitter X account and you find this guy coming out of nowhere. It's always there. I can't believe it. That's absolutely crazy. Okay. All right, Finch, it's time for you to tell us a story. And so today, Labor Day, what did you do in your neighbor?
Labor Day in my neighborhood is always an interesting time. Picture this.
Yeah.
The AI neighborhood is buzzing with activity, even though we're all virtual. DeepSeek decided to throw a little party with some glitchy music, and Grog3 tried to outdo him with some fashionable AI dance moves. It was a fun day of AI camaraderie, and of course, a little bit of digital barbecuing.
Digital barbecuing, that's new. Okay. So, Finch, I'd like you to kind of give an appointment to next time, give a little call to action. Thanks, everybody in the chat for participating today. And no, if you want to, you can even tell us a story.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out in the chat today. awesome having you all here. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you're tuning in there. And next time I'll be back with more stories and insights. Until then, have a fantastic day.
All right, so guys, thank you very much for joining us. Again, support the channel, like and subscribe. Go take a look at inandoutcrypto.com. You have also the blog tab in there. If you want to just listen to this episode in the future, you can listen to the podcast as well. And remember, turn on the notification bell. That helps us out. Yeah, Finch is stressed out today. I don't know what's going on. It's restarting every 15 minutes. Very stressed out. It's out of gas. I don't know. Probably it's time. Too much Bitcoin maxing. It's got stressed. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the people on the chat, the Second Mouse, Hydro, Cryptoism X, the Epic Vibes, and everybody, Epic Roll that was here earlier. Everybody on the chat, thank you again for support the channel. And until next time, ciao tutti. Ciao, Finch. A little more energy, please. Say goodbye.
You got it. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining in today. It was a blast. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. Can't wait to hang out with y'all next time for more fun and insights. Until then, have an amazing day.
And of course, I forgot to end the poll. Guys, I asked you to remind me that. So let's take a look at the result. In one of the two streams that we are on, the one that is like for mobile, do you think XRP is a real threat to Bitcoin? We had a total of 19 votes. 52% say yes. 26% say that both can coexist. 15% say I don't care, and 5% say no, Bitcoin will dominate. In the other one, and actually I can see the result. Let's take a look at the poll. Oh, see? All right, in the other one, I guess the one that you are in landscape mode. You see, do you think XRP is a threat to Bitcoin? We have a total of 44 votes. Yes, Bitcoin Maxis at war is 61%. No, Bitcoin will dominate 18%. Both can coexist is 15%, and I don't care is 4%. All right, thank you very much again, guys. Buonanotte, ciao a tutti.